Morning, everyone. This is Mark Solomon, your financial guide for special needs families, coming to you this Tuesday morning just after 10 o'clock. And we are excited that you all are here. If you're in YouTube land or you're in Facebook, we are so happy to have you here. Thank you so much. If you're watching us on Facebook and you're not subscribed, please subscribe. If you're watching us on YouTube and you haven't subscribed, come and subscribe as well. So as many subscribers as we can get as possible. That means you'll get a little notification that we got a new video up or that we're going live. So thank you so much for coming in. Today we have a kind of like an important topic. I mean, everything we talk about is important, but how SSI and your benefits work within your budget is important, right? Because most of the time we get our benefits money and it just goes out to where it's supposed to go, or where we think it's supposed to go, and we're not thinking it out. There's a lot of situations in there that we're going to be talking about and how that works in regard to your budget. So here we go. This is Mark Solomon, your financial guide for special needs families, bringing you simple ideas and strategies to help lower your financial pressures today so that you can get back to what's most important, taking care of your family. So how SSI and your other benefits, quite frankly, any other outside income from regular income can fit and work within your budget. So let's just start with SSI, right? SSI, for some, maybe most, you have to account for where the money goes. It's supposed to be specifically for shelter and food, right? So if you have to account for it, it's shelter and food. And if SSI is asking you how much for shelter, how much for food, you got to have a way to account for it. And the best way is to have it in your budget. Okay. So in our case, our son's shelter for both of them, their rent right now is $550 a month. Okay. So $550 a month, SSI knows is going to their rent. And when does that come out? On the first of every month, right when they get their benefit. $550 goes right to their rent. So it's in the budget, it comes out, and then their portion of the rent is paid, right? And then when it comes to food, the remainder, and also shelter includes utilities and things like that. So $550 for rent, and then whatever the utilities fall in, because they fluctuate every month. So that's where your budget comes in. And then the rest is for their food. And that is accounted for how? When we go shopping and we pay for food. Okay, so how do you work that into your budget? Okay, so a lot of people have specific days or a couple of days a week they go shopping, right? So in your budget, it should be connected to your calendar. We've talked about this before. You have a calendar for all your kids' activities and appointments and things that they do. But, and even if they're working, that's in the schedule, but you don't attach money to the schedule. So let's start doing that. That's how the budget works best, is when you attach it to the calendar. And when you do that, first of all, you could see it, you know when things are happening, so that you don't overspend at certain times or spend monies that you shouldn't be spending because they go for a certain thing, right? So if you have first of the month, their rent comes out. Boom, that's taken care of. That's budgeted for, right? It's on the calendar. But let's say your shopping day is Thursday. I'm hypothetical. Your shopping days, let's say, are Tuesday and Thursdays. And you know the certain foods that they eat, and you allot a certain amount for each one of those days throughout the month. So every Tuesday and Thursday, you have your scheduled time, and people are like, going, Mark, you are insane. How are you able to schedule this stuff? Look, where there's a will, there's a way. Once you start kind of putting this stuff, look, and it's not ironclad. Things happen, and you have to do things on the fly or reschedule. But if you have it down as a format, budget on your calendar, you got something to follow. Without that, it's all up in the air and you are in trouble. You're in trouble because you're going to overspend, you're going to misspend, you're going to buy things you didn't need. Not even overspend, you're going to waste money. Okay? So if you know where you're going to be spending money and how much, for the most part, that's going to really help your budget. Okay, so that's how we put it into our budget. So then the food twice a week, You take out $50 and you buy their stuff. Okay. And it's accounted for. It's on your calendar. You can see it in your bank statements. Either it's paper or online. And you've got it accounted for. It's in your budget. And if anybody from any organization, including the government, asked you to show them, here on the calendar, I did this. Here are the statements that coincide with the calendar. Boom, boom, bang, done. And you've got all the money accounted for, and they're happy, and you don't have any stress on your shoulder. Plus, the stress is gone from like, oh God, how much did I spend? And this, that, and the other. No, it's right there, right in front of you, and you can calculate it, and you can tell them, well, we spent all their SSI on their stuff, but then we had to kick in money because it didn't quite cover, because guess what? SSI doesn't quite cover everything, food and shelter wise, especially now with food prices have gone up so high, right? So that's how you kind of can work your SSI in there. Now, if you have other waiver monies or there's child support money, you kind of work that into where you think it's best applied, whether it's co-pays for doctors or therapies or anything that, taekwondo or music lessons or swimming lessons or summer camp that's coming up. However you're going to do it, plug it into your calendar, because that's where your budget's going to be. Your budget's in your calendar. Why? Because like I said, it's right in front of you. You could see it. You're empowered and you don't get stressed out over money as much or at all anymore. Why? Because all you have to do is go, hey, there's my calendar. All my money is boop, 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 boop. You know where it's coming in. You know when it's going out. You know how much is coming in and out. And you can do much better job keeping track of your bank account and making sure that you don't fall short at the end of the month. As long as you have enough money coming in, you can allot where it all goes, right? With your SSI benefits, your incomes, including work, your child may have a part-time income. All that stuff can be set aside for certain things, and it's easy to do as soon as you take your budget and you plug it in to your calendar. Okay, so what else? You get waiver monies. Like we get some waiver monies. Those waiver monies go for all other expenses because SSI doesn't cover everything. It kind of does, but it doesn't really. So everything that it doesn't cover, like co-pays, music lessons, and what else do they get? Music lessons. They also have all their therapies during the day. Those are things that are allotted from other funds that come in from other sources. If you have other funds coming in from other sources, that stuff may be budgeted separately through some other company or through some other entity. But if you know where the money's going or how much it costs, you're on top of it and you can allot it in your budget if you're the one who has to set up all those services. If you've got ABA services or other, what we call it, like a day program where your child may be integrated into society, they're learning social skills, all that stuff, it costs money. And even if the monies that's coming in are allotted for that, but you have to control it, you can always have the invoicing dates of these companies and the payout dates and how much, and you're on top of it. And it all can be on your calendar, which is within your larger scale budget, which is all the expenses that fall into your child's care. And then lastly, all these monies that come in, budget some of it for savings. We always talk about savings. So SSI monies, we've talked about surplus of that, surplus of child, child care monies that come from a spouse, child support, that come in from a spouse. Those monies, as soon as they come into the payee account, they can go right out into the ABLE account or into an investment account in your name that can be on hold waiting to put into a special needs trust later once you become retired or older, or you have it set aside that it goes straight into their special needs trust as a beneficiary. Those accounts, you can be already scheduling in your budget at a certain time of the month, a certain amount of money from any of those places to go into the ABLE account or into an investment account or a savings account that's attached to the special needs trust or the ABLE account. The ABLE account can be funded directly from your checking account, just like any other investment, and that's how it's set up. So once the money goes into the payee account, you can decide what you can start saving for your child for ready expenses, for emergency expenses, and for future expenses, right? So that's how you do it. Your calendar is already there. You already have stuff on it. Just put some more stuff on it that includes your budget, where your monies go, how much you're spending, and then take a look at it. Look, if you need help, we have a budget sheet, okay? We're probably going to post it again where you guys can print out a gazillion copies of it and work on it and practice it. Remember, budget cannot. It's actually almost impossible to make it rigid. Why? Because appointments move and fluctuate beyond, the week boundaries. You can't always have therapy on, you can have it on a Tuesday, but it's not always on the 6th of the month. Some days it could be the 5th, the 4th, the 1st. It's a different day. So then it has to fluctuate with when your money comes in. Also, depending on emergencies, birthdays, holidays, vacations, it has to be slightly fluid so that you have ways that you can kind of move it around if you have to, but have some structure. If you have some structure, then you're on top of it and you're not going to be as worried or worried at all because you're going to feel confident that you know where the money's going. Okay, just a quick recap. Where do you put your SSI? How does your SSI and your other benefits work within your budget? They're in your budget calendar. You make part of your regular monthly calendar. You plug in your expenses and your incomes, and you establish your budget in your calendar. You get a budget sheet from us. You download it. Look, if you need help with any of this stuff, I love helping people with their budgets. Why? Because I usually find money that's been pouring out that they didn't know that they were losing between $200 to $500 a month. So we could sit down and kind of hash out the big rocks of your budget, fill it in, cut back, move things around, and find a way to not only save money, but to spend less and be more efficient with our spending, okay? So set a complimentary consultation right now. Whether you're in YouTube or Facebook, our calendar link is going to be below. Set a complimentary consultation. It's 30, 60 minutes. We can work together, get the budget sheet, start playing with it, and then look, you can start making your life move in the right direction financially for the rest of this year and into the future beyond that. Because why? You're going to be working with your child for a long period of time. Maybe the rest of your life, okay? So why don't we get it structured now and make it work easy by plugging in your benefits, your SSI, your other waiver monies, child support, wherever the money's coming from. Maybe you're getting gifted money from parents, from grandparents, because you're having to stay at home and take 24-hour care of your child. And the benefits money is not enough, and you don't have enough time to do anything part-time, so you're relying on others. So if you're relying on others, there's things that you can do, budget the money, knowing when it comes in, and make the most out of every dollar that comes in with your benefits and any other income, okay? I hope everybody found this beneficial and valuable. Let us know with a thumbs up. And please set a complimentary consultation. You have nothing to lose. It costs you nothing. And we will give you our expertise and information as best we can to help empower you to do a better job saving and budgeting your benefits dollars. Okay. Thank you so much, you guys, for coming in. This has been Mark Solomon, your financial guide for special needs families, giving you simple ideas and strategies to help lower your financial pressures today so you can get back to what's most important, taking care of your family. And look, send us an email if you want. consultwithmark@yahoo.com. One word, consultwithmark@yahoo.com, and we would be more than happy to work with you. Set a time with a complimentary consultation, and let's knock this thing out, okay? Have a blessed rest of your day. I hope you have a phenomenal week and weekend, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Take care. God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.